Okay, for a minute, let's just forget everything you learned from a biology textbook. I want you to think about your immune system as this giant, incredibly complex army. And right now, we're going to see its first line of defense jump into a life or death battle. This is your body at war. You know that tiny paper cut you got? Annoying, right? Barely worth a thought. Well, from your cell's perspective, the world just ended. A wall has been breached. It is, and I quote, a horrible catastrophe. Countless enemy bacteria are pouring in, and they are ready to pillage and burn everything in sight. So, who's the first one on the scene? As your dying cells scream out a chemical alarm, the resident guards are instantly woken up. So let's meet the very first of these first responders, the macrophage. Now, to really get a sense of these things, imagine an average cell is about the size of a person. Well, a macrophage would be the size of a black rhino. I mean, these are the huge, stoic, heavy infantry of your immune system. They're always on patrol, and when they find an invader, they don't ask questions, they just attack. And they are ridiculously powerful. A single one can swallow up to 100 bacteria and, yeah, digest them alive. But here's the problem. In a serious invasion, we're not talking about hundreds of bacteria. We're talking thousands, maybe millions. 100 just isn't going to cut it. They get overwhelmed fast, and that's when they know they need backup. So let's quickly recap its role on the battlefield. It literally stretches out these octopus-like arms to grab bacteria, swallows them whole, and this is the most important part. When the fight gets too big, it blasts out chemical signals. It's basically the 911 call of your immune system, screaming for reinforcements. And believe me, that call is about to be answered. Answering that desperate call are the neutrophils. And if macrophages are the stoic, professional guards, think of neutrophils as the chaotic, frenzied shock troops that just pour in from your bloodstream. Their arrival completely changes the fight. These cells are, and there's no other way to put this, absolutely wild. They are basically biological suicide warriors that have one single purpose in their very short lives: to kill. They're so aggressive, so packed with deadly chemicals, that they're actually programmed to self-destruct after just a few days. Why? To keep them from accidentally destroying your own body. Their attack plan is pure, unadulterated chaos. They show up and immediately start vomiting poison all over the bacteria, then they just start gobbling them up. Totally careless, not methodical like the macrophage. And for their grand finale, some of them will literally explode, casting out this toxic net made of their own DNA to trap and kill even more of the enemy. It's insane. It is so important to get this. Neutrophils are not precise. They are not surgical strikers. Their chemical weapons and their explosions cause a ton of damage to your own healthy cells in the area. That swelling, that heat, the inflammation you feel, that's collateral damage. But in the first moments of a catastrophic invasion, it's a price your body is more than willing to pay to stop the enemy cold. So, while this absolutely brutal, messy battle is raging, there's another cell moving around quietly, doing a very different, and you could argue, much more important job. This isn't about brute force. Nope, this is about strategy. It's time to meet the intelligence officer of your immune system. The dendritic cell is so fascinating because its job is not to kill anyone. While the macrophages and neutrophils are on the front lines duking it out, the dendritic cell is on a covert mission. It's gathering intel. It is the spy that is going to determine how this entire war is won. So here's how its mission works. It goes around the battlefield, picks up enemy body parts, rips them into little pieces, and then wears those pieces all over its body like some kind of gruesome trophy. Then it leaves the battle, travels your body's superhighway to a command center, what we call a lymph node, and it starts showing these enemy parts to commander cells, called T cells. It's looking for the one T cell that has the perfect weapon for this very specific invader. Okay, whoa, that was a lot of action, right? So let's just pause for a second and have a quick war council meeting. We've met 3 absolutely essential players in this first response, and each one has a very, very specific job. If you're studying for an exam, this is the part to remember. Each of these first responders has a clear military role. The macrophage, that's your heavy infantry, the stoic guard holding the line and calling for help. The neutrophil, that's the absolutely reckless suicide warrior, designed to cause as much damage as possible, as fast as possible. And the dendritic cell, that's your intelligence officer, your spy, gathering the critical intel needed to activate the real army. And that really is the key takeaway.
This whole violent, messy, chaotic battle we just saw, it's just the opening act. It's a delaying action. The intelligence gathered by that dendritic cell is about to unleash the adaptive immune system. We're talking the heavy weapons, the snipers, the antibody factories. This first fight just buys them the time they need. The real war is just about to begin.